So, short summarization because we forget to start recording. Today's meeting will be divided into 3 parts. The first one is watching video, which is about constructing text on live conversation. So no prepared text before. It's being created while conversation with actors. So it's a case of dramaturgy and adaptation and putting text in a block of themes. The second thing will be my current experience of working for the Jewish theater in Warsaw on Stanisław Lem adaptation. So it will be the first monologue of the performance, which will have the premiere this autumn in the October. So it will be about formal way of putting text in word and see how it as a structure, not as a sense of text, it works on a paper, and how to make it more clear. And the third way will be practical exercise for common text, common work together. So let's start. Via chat, I will give you the link to the performance right now. Please rewind it to the beginning. It's with English subtitles. It's half an hour duration. So I'm muting my microphone for now for half an hour. Please watch it, and we will talk about the structure of the text. Okay? Sure. Generally, to summarizing also I'm also thinking that it's just a little time for such a thing as writing, but we get through mechanical writing, then through choosing a perspective via images of reality, and now we are turning to the point which is rewriting from reality. So modulating reality, playing on fiction and non-fiction, a polyphonic multi-voices plural tale, a story, which is democratic tale with no main character, just everybody are equal. I have 2 questions to you for the beginning. The first one is if you have any question on generally on writing, because this is the thing I would like to go further with you, in which I am also right now. So I am the author of the text for the theater at the moment, and I'm finishing this text. And so this is the first question, and the second is what you can tell about what you have seen.
Okay, for general in writing, I don't really have a question because, yeah, I'm not currently like that much occupied with writing. Like I had to finish like 2 small essays or something for like different topics and write something on that. And I have to say, because they said just write 1 page, I did more like metaphors or like describing to fill the words instead of being like concrete, or is it called like, yeah. So that's what I say. Okay, this kind of is like good for me. Like when they say, okay, you have to write 1 page, then I could just like describe and describe to fill that page. Right, and for the play, I have the question, who was the guy on the right? Like, in what kind of relation he is with the other 2 guys? Like, I got like at the, I think after the half or something, we know that the 2 are in a relationship, and then was the general topic that everyone was gay. And yeah, but I was thinking, is there another relationship than just being gay?
That's interesting question. Basically, this guy on the right was the only person who did not wear shoes. The only person who wears shoes. And Without Shoes was this two guys with a relationship. And to answer your question, I think I should mention about what was the starting point. The starting point was the German book, The Man with a Pink Triangle. It was by Hans Heger, okay, but it's just a nickname. The first testimony on being gay while Holocaust times. So the very first book about it.
Yeah, yeah. Like when I saw the headline, I saw the headline just a bit later, but then I was like, we had something about a pink triangle, and yeah.
It was in Austria, I think, in Vienna. This man who was living, he's Austrian, but in German language. But I was traveling for this festival, which I have only 7 days for making performance, with this book in my head. So I prepared whole scenario, and this is also what literature is. On a paper, it could look tasty and fine, but when you hear it from another mouth, it's how to check if it works. You have to speak it out loud to put this text in mouth of somebody, then you hear it, and then you make corrections. So I heard it, and then I thought, is this a story if we really need? And I thought it was just in very hot time in Poland last year that somebody, the president thought the LGBT are not people, they are just ideology. And there was really great public quarrel about it. So I gently asked actors, because it's only about it. This text I prepared based on Hans Heger, that was my safety plan, plan B. My dream plan was to tell them, come on guys, you have your own stories and let's do it in a documentary way, like a reportage. But in a dangerous reality, it is not about being an actor and not only being brave, but taking responsibility for them also. So I knew that deciding on this step on writing text of them, so they are live library, as if it may not work because they will not decide, but they did. And we thought how to play this fiction non-fiction. So we took Hans Heger, and the guy on right, answering your question, was also the representative of the past. So he used the quotations of concentration camps, mixed past with these times. So, and it was quite contrapunct, shocking way, like there is a fourth person above them, among them, who is telling the fourth story. So maybe this is your question about not only the relation, but mixing times in his, was this unsure state of character that.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out because like the topics were like similar, if like it's also kind of a conversation, but because they didn't face each other, it's not a conversation, and
some kind of stand-up. So the whole dramaturgy was, because it's all about it, as I mentioned about Svetlana Alexievich thought it's all about love and death, generally. So basically it was also, so not the micro perspective, but the macro one was to go to build some general dramaturgy from light to dark, from something which is joke to something which is serious, but also in a brutal, cynic way, irony. It's a very dangerous weapon. So to play with, to take the viewers on your side. So via joke, you can build solidarity with them, and then to punch them. So
yeah, with like saying, pretending what if the stereotypes would be true, like how people would just like say, yeah, I'm just doing it, and like it's fine, and yeah.
This is also what was interesting for me, that we did not know who will sit on the auditory, who will be this evening with us, and also who will be.
This would also be a question for me. How was it like promoted? Because I was thinking, when you say like it is dangerous to do something like that, like in Germany probably it wouldn't, so I don't know. But then I also think like, okay, if you particular say, okay, this is about sexuality or something, then just people who are open-minded can come to this and expose themselves, and the others could just treat back. But also people and haters could come to that and then use this as a chance. But then I would also see, because I think probably those would be the minority, how other people would react to this. So if they then support the actors. Like,
that was really interesting, because this is what made me shocked in some way, that one heterosexual guy with his girlfriend went to the theater for a date this evening to our performance. So the girl taught him, "Hey, come on! It would be about love. It's Friday evening. Let's come to the theater." so they came, and this guy took a voice after this, and he thought, "I was against, but after this half an hour, I started to understand, and I'm with you right now." So that was the but the second thing I was faced with was how to, and if I have a right to do it, the streaming. Because this is something you cannot control. You don't know if somebody will record it, how he will use it. You don't know what is on the other side of the camera, of the monitor. So I decided to stream it, and strictly after to delete it from the space, virtual space, to not make to do not put the actors being endangered in this way. So yes, that was the second question. But about text also, seeing this macro perspective, I don't know, 5 minutes and 10 minutes last. Hello guys, the rest. So macro perspective is about going through the themes, jokes, private. The first day you thought about it, the worst day. Cześć Danilo, hello. So the best day, the worst day, the happiest moment, the end of the world. So then you can control this. Even you have 3 actors, 8 actors, 6 actors. I always work like this. If you put them just general themes, you can let them off. You control general dramaturgy. And how is it going? So punching and going forward, step forward, attacking, and so this is what tension provokes. Okay, so that was like this. If you have, Danilo, also something to add or ask, take your time right now to join us. I cannot hear you. You have the microphone.
Mic is muted.
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
The question is, join us. So if you have something to add to the discussion or questions about writing also, before we go to the next step, just it's your time after to sharing from the formal way of text. How it works there.
Now I don't have any questions. I'm just listening.
Okay. Don't have questions. Okay. Whoa, Apolinary wrote an essay to us. So if we could just read it, it would be nice. So Danilo, it's your task. Read what Apolinary wrote on the chat.
With sound.
What?
Like, should I read loud?
Yes, please.
Okay. For now, I can only chat. And about the performance. At the very beginning, the performance reminded me of Anna Karasinska's Fantasia from Theater, right? Or what is it? TR?
Yes.
TR Warsaw. The announcer was Roman Pawlowski from this theater. Several actors in contemporary homemade clothes facing the audience. Very poor theater, one would like to say, referring to Grotowski. However, I was simply disappointed with the Karaszynska performance. I was not drawn in by the narration. The dramaturgy was disintegrating and blurring. The attention of the audience, including mine, was drawn by the authority of actors like Maria Mai, but not by the intention of the director. The opposite is true here. We have monologues as if presented during some game of private, honest stories, sometimes very funny among friends at a house party, and very hot topic concerning hate speech and sexual prejudice, including the pressure in public space. For me, however, the play is also about referring to leaders, for the second revolution, another revolution that talks about migration from small conservative cities to other, more future-oriented and open centers. This is what I think at the moment. The language of hatred, hate speech. This theme connects with the message of Enemy is Born by Aneta Groszycka from the Chorzyca Theater in Torun.
Okay, fine. Fine. Okay, so let's go further, because I would like to also give you another examples of how to see the text on working on this. This is what I'm thinking about while writing, because I'm reaching the deadline of my scenario of LEM to the Jewish Theatre in Warsaw. While writing, I'm also facing some troubles, themes, questions. And the first thing I'm seeing is, don't tell about it, just write. And observe how the text is fluctuating on the paper. So check it, try it on, and make modulations in another variations. I would like to share with you my screen for now to see. It's in Polish, but I will give you translation then. But it's about formal structure of the text which I am working on. So is this? It will be it here. So now, are you seeing my screen at the moment?
Yes.
Okay. So in the first version, this script I considered with fragments from the adaptation was about using fragments from LEM. And this is structure is not clear also for actors and for anybody who is in also in my team from video, music, costume, set design, you know, not clear. This way of writing, yes, fabular way. So the task was to make it, how to put the dramaturgy on the first way and make this text more clear in formal way. So the way of writing it. So this is how it looks like after rewriting LEM to the more theatrical way of using text. So my discovery via writing was with this structure, I couldn't see which sentence I should cut and never turn it back to the text. And also, I really love this function of speaking loud here. Speak out loud. Then you can hear from the word how it is being heard. Extremely important. Not a dead text on the paper, but speaking and hearing. You can then particularly just cut the relation between you and the text. You can be more objective. You don't treat it as if this text in your head, you are not author anymore. You in an objective way hear if it's a shit or not. So, and the rhythm of the text spoken, even if it's machine. That's why I played you this Sopot nonfiction, my performance there, because that was the same case. I made there prepared with text I wrote silently on my own in my desk on the paper. This is something what was produced in my head, and then I just came to living organisms, and I heard this text, and it was not working. So the first thing is to give the text to somebody else to make it not yours. Give it to somebody.
I'm thinking maybe it's similar to a musician, I think, because like in the old days when they composed for orchestras or something, or made like yeah, something with like a lot of instruments combined, they also like couldn't hear it. They first wrote it and then they oh, your mic is off. Your mic is still off.
Sorry. I just I wanted to stop sharing screen and I just left. Sorry, the meeting. If you could repeat the orchestra.
Yeah. So I said like maybe it's similar to like in earlier times where people who compose music compose first something without knowing how it sounds like with all instruments in the orchestra, and then they come to the orchestra and they play the notes, but they still have their own kind of way how to play.
Yes, maybe that's it. But and I think this is what I'm saying to myself, and also it's a good tip. I think also not think that the text is yours.
Yeah.
Give him to the others. Attack this text, and then you will see the weak points. So that's why the criticism, in the good way, it's so important to share, to discuss, to try literature, not make it private only, because you will sacrifice it. You will just be total author. You will not, and this is not good for the text itself. So, going further, this this is also what I was reading last time about different strategies of painting also. It was extremely interesting about finding anonymous works which has no rights in the public space by internet also, and repainting these somebody's paintings, and also scratching the paint from the art piece and making another art piece from these fragments of paint, you know, remixing the material also which was this building of. And another thing was to put the painting whole with a frame to the washing machine, wash this painting and throw it out and see how it is, you know, like eaten and split it out. And what is, while after this biological process of fading also, what new could be from such destroying painting also. So there are another, I think that is possible also with a text, if you don't take it too seriously and too in a literal way. So after our works from last two times, I think also it is the good tip is not to make literature, from a text. You try to, every person who is not writing so much is try to beautify the text, to make it a real literature, to use high words, etc. And I would like to do with you a short task for now, which is about last task, the inner monologue from the perspective of I, but not using high language, not using too many oh my god, adjectives, not using descriptions, not making the text beauty, you know, just common thing, as if you would speak it chaotically, vulgar, broken, fragmentical. This is what is the meat of the text. And also, as I saw you, use the lines and see how it, because last time you was using the acapits, the whole fragments, essayistic way of thinking. Fuck off essayistic way of thinking. Just think about what your eye is gonna trying to say. The half a page, because the Zeit is knapp. We have not enough time. So on the half of the page, not in a coded way, so not structural, just broke the structure. The topic is you all of you have the first sentence the same, and we will see from where from the sentence you will go. Okay, so the sentence is, it's here. So this is what the end looks like, I thought. So this is what the end looks like, I thought. This is your first sentence. Think about the most extreme day of your life and try to use your I narrator to take some notes, impressions, attack the reality. Okay?
I think I'm kind of determined by that, because we had some exercise also, like starting at the end and I don't know, going backward.
Okay, really?
Yeah, so I'm just like, I just know something about a car crash, but I don't know what it was. It's just a vague memory in my head.
Okay, so we can change the first sentence. It would like, I have second idea. Sorry, I just. She loved me, or he loved me, for the horror of my experiences.
Once again?
She loved me, he loved me, for the horror of my experiences. The ugliness, the strangeness.
For the horrors
of my experiences. For, in the meaning, for what was hard in me. Make some sketches, a sketch of text, half a page, 5 minutes, and we will go on. Okay?
So we have to invent our own like words, sentences, and
Yes.
make it music. Okay.
It could be accusation, it could be defense speech to your lover, to your eye lover. It could be the end, it could be the beginning, it could be meeting after 10 years. Accusation, defending speech, yeah. The letter. Okay, slowly turning to the point. Okay. The last sentence, and please go on. Are you ready? You should never be ready, because it's the most performative way. Never being ready. Who will start reading? Should I choose? Hey, choose Danilo.
Okay. She loved me for the horror of my experiences. She didn't love me, she loved my stories. She didn't like my stories, she loved my body, which lived them. She didn't love the body, she loved the one who sits in it. He flew an entire spaceship called human. He created events from which she had horror, and horror is always a passion. A passion is emotion, and emotions are experiences. And they were both this chemical cocktail.
So, to avoid beautification of the text is to not hide on the general truths of reality on the level of universification, because you are trying to escape. And the very personal is emotional way, not giving general truths of reality and trying to understand it, but to agree or do not agree, to attack who is attacking you, to make text more aggressive and more personal. That was the first part of your text was this way, emotional. But then you jumped to the level of rationalization of, if you know what I mean, to the general point. This is what I also am calling a literatural way of the text. You lost your I narrator to the common knowing narrator, which is not you.
Yeah, I got it. I focused more on like technical aspects, and I started to write, and I used some words. For example, something like she, beautiful woman, and I deleted beautiful woman. Yeah, so I tried to work on words, but like from the other way, I should work on different stuff.
This is the helpful thing is to visualization, visualize the body of if you would, what you would like to do with the person who is not loving you, to make it a monstrous one, maybe to dehumanize it, to describe the body as if it is not longer human. So this is the act of taking revenge on it also, yes, to make, if she's beautiful and she left you, so describe her as a monster. Take away this beauty because she's no longer yours. Then do not let the world having this beauty which is no longer yours. Take the revenge, the active task, not to describe, just to act and react. Taking revenge is active thing also. Anna, if you could read your text, please.
Yeah, so if I understood it
We
right.
will see.
Sorry. That was just like frustration with myself.
Oh, fine. You know, doing such things via Teams is hard for you and for me. So go on, please. Make it challenge.
Okay, so mine is very short. Mine is just they loved me for the horrors of my experience, of the naive way of thinking everything is fine, nothing can ever harm me, of the inexperience I have in so many topics. Yes, that's it.
This is the end. Oh my god, haiku. Okay. But if I'm thinking about it properly, if I understood it properly, you took your eye narrator as a victim. So you victimized your person. So you took this argument and made.
Yeah, I may not understand what like the task was or like from whom the sentence is. So yeah, but yeah, for me it is more like because I hear horrors of my experience, and I thought, okay, I don't really have horrors or something because I don't have that much experience. So I write about my unexperience.
And this is also you did something very interesting because you in some way ironically agreed with this accusation, and you said, yes, this is how it is. I'm weak. You victimized yourself, but in this way you also took off the weapon of the person who could use it against you. So in this way, it's strictly interesting point. So the narrator is wiser than another characters. Yes, in a way, more conscious, because the narrator is conscious of what the others would like to do with him.
Yeah, this is interesting because like I would say like I'm mostly resistant to what other people say or don't take it for true because they don't know me. I'm more like my enemy myself, like because yeah, I know like what is true and what is not true.
With your hesitation, I have to say about this is also why I played you this this performance, because this is about the status of the character who is speaking. If guys were co-authors of the text, because many of this text was there originally, they asked me if we could lie, and I thought to them, this is your greatest weapon. This is on the stage. Everything you will say, even if it is honestly said, it is on the space of the stage. Another, it takes another status, because all the time you could say, I'm only actor. It is only the theater. So you can make an escape from this if it's too hard for you and would harm you. And this is when you ask me, who is saying this? What the experiences are? This is also when I'm starting to think, and Olga Tokarczuk also is saying like this, I am thinking with I try to the character. I try to empathize. I try to be him at the moment. But if it's fiction or non-fiction, you can all the time lie. You can, and this is what I believe in. And it's helpful for me to reach the emotional point with the character, to find such a point in this person, which would be also my point. Such a moment in life of the character, which I could put myself in this moment also. And then try to write my version of myself, of the monologue of the character.
Yeah. Yeah. This is also interesting what you say, because like for me this is the struggle I have like in normal life, that I'm kind of like taking things like fast as people, they say, but I also don't take them serious, so I don't really know if like it's true or not. And for myself, like I can't lie, like I always tell the truth or nothing. The only way how to escape, like when people say, okay, in a dangerous situation you should lie, like I still can't lie, but what helps me is to say, okay, I'm another person, and this other person has a different life.
Extremely interesting what you are saying at the moment, because it's all about biographism in literature. When the author says, this is not mine, I only wrote it, but it's fiction. I'm always thinking, you liar. Because this is you who wrote it, with your whole life experiences who leaded you to this moment you are right now. If it would be I will do it in completely another way. Even if it's some kind of a fiction, my head produced it with everything I lived through. So with everything I have in my back. That's why I believe that even if it's fiction, non-fiction, lying or not lying, everything is true. Basically, from this, that's why because you asked who is this character, then I'm thinking, even if I write a monologue of the character, then I'm trying to search just the one sentence, which is my sentence, or which I would like to steal from the author and I would like to take with myself to the life. And I have a collection of stolen sentences from several authors, and this is what my favorite anecdotes in life. So stolen sentences. I have 15 stolen sentences.
And you say like those decisions are really made by yourself, because therefore I would have to go back to the dreams. So you would say dreams should be not because they're not like they're unconscious, like they're not actual decisions, but like when you write they are. Or do you think like even the past influences you like that you're not cautious of, like?
I love to write for the theater because immediately you can check if the text works or not. In a book, you don't have such a chance. You don't have communication with your readers who will read alone and do with text in their heads, something which you don't have control at it totally. If you write for the theater, you can check if the physiological level of the text, the breath, if it sounds like bullshit or if it's something you can believe in. And even if I write a scenario and then I'm going to these people who will do it, every time I readapt it with them, for them, I take their sentences also as their people and put it to the text, because I think it should be also their, not mine, not objective, but living organisms are influenced with the text, and text is being influenced by living organisms. So I think this is what you tried also to express, that the shape is in relation with others. And who is the character, I believe also you who is writing, you are the character in very different moments of being yourself, in variations, or even, and this is to summarize what we said, I strictly and strongly believe that the space of the theater for the literature is also the aquarium, a battle space, which you can be faster than reality. And what Svetlana Alexievich wrote in her reportages was also that literature is a vaccine which you can inject in people with these sentences and to make them harder for what they could hear from the real space, from the real living people. So basically, what will attack you in reality and make you hurt, you can do it in a theater, in a safe conditions, and it will not kill you, not hurt you. I'm always saying about it. This is a variance of your life also, the future variance. It don't has to be only the past. It also can be this magical as if. What as if? What would be as if? So, the last task I planned, because this our last meeting, I will tell you we don't have enough time, but it's very also practical and interesting, is now with your text, we should choose just one text and take the one character from the one text, and all of you should rewrite this text of one person of you. So there will be another perspectives to this world, another characters chosen, and the universum of the one text will spread from another perspectives. So I think if in the future we will have some time for this, this is another level of spreading world, of letting another people go to your text and see what they are seeing there and how they could readapt your text. So you understand?
We should take from somebody else's a text?
If you wrote your text with I narrator, some situation, then all another students take your text and take answer to this text or make it further, push it further, you know, and then you see how this text could fluctuate with another heads.
So like we did with Danilo's text, that we took one sentence?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, okay, have you got any, what?
I have to find where I put them. I don't know where I put them.
Fine, thank you for all our 3 meetings. I hope that this just probing the taste of the directions possible. I tried to sketch it in some way for you. I hope if any of this would be helpful for you in the future. I'm also open for your questions. If you'd like also in the future to ask me about anything, I'm open for this, so feel free to ask and write. Have you got any questions? Because we are landing, dear friends. No. So thank you very much. I keep my fingers crossed for you in the future, and have a nice summer. Thank you very much. Goodbye.